Okay. Hi.
Hi.
Are you having fun
Don't
yet?
show him. He doesn't like to be seen.
That's right. I'm hiding from the cameras. So, have you gotten used to this activity?
I have gotten used to this activity in the last couple of years, I'd say.
Are you just now? Do you have a junket style? Do you have a way you go into
short and sweet is my style. I like to one and done, as they like to say.
Do you like getting asked the same question over and over again, or you want to?
I don't mind that because I don't have to say the same thing over and over again.
But isn't it hard, like the 30th time in a day, to be original? And
it depends on who you're with. When it's single like this, it's great. But if you have like a partner over here, then it's like, let's just get through it, buddy. Come on, get through it.
But you get a routine down then.
No.
You shtick together.
Because no one likes to shtick with your shtick. You know what I mean? It's like they end up wandering off, and it's like, okay, I'm way better at one-on-one.
Interesting.
Because I get to just make it however I want to be, depending on, like right now, I could end up just like not liking this interview and completely derail it, and you would have no idea what's going on.
Oh, I'd have a pretty good idea.
I don't think so.
I've had those interviews.
I've got good tricks up my sleeve.
I don't know. Derailing is a specialty that I'm quite fond of.
You're in tune to. Okay.
Yes, but there's no response to it. There's no way of fixing it once you're off the tracks.
I won't do that to you.
Yeah.
Or will I?
We had somebody had their publicist take them out of the room 10 minutes into an interview.
What did you do?
That's gonna help.
What did you do to them?
I did nothing wrong. I did absolutely nothing wrong.
They all say.
They were not prepped for this interview.
Oh, that's what it was.
They thought it was something else, I think, and I don't know. It wasn't pleasant.
I need to get a new publicist.
Yeah, that's the only piece of tape we've ever not run on my show.
Oh!
Out of 1,700 interviews.
Oh my God!
It's the only one that's sitting in the
vault.
vault.
Bro, take a vacation.
Unspoken. Anyway, so you started this when you were but a small child.
Sure.
7, 8, 6.
Sounds right.
Is it right?
I don't know. I was so young, I don't remember. Well, they told me they said that I started. I think I started doing professional work at like 13. But I was doing theater at like 7 or 8.
Yeah. So why?
Why kick it up a notch from theater?
No, why were you doing things at 7? What was the inspiration to?
Because I was homeschooled and I had no social interaction, and my mom was like, we got to get this kid some friends. So they put me in theater, even though I can't sing and I can't dance. And they were hoping to God that I could act, which I couldn't at the time because I was, again, 7. Yeah. So I ended up being the monkey in Jungle Book. I do a really good monkey voice.
Are you going to do it for us now?
Do you want to hear?
Yeah, of course.
It's pretty good, right?
Very good. Get Jon Favreau in here.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Put me in Jungle Book, yo. But I do, yeah, and then I played like a homeless kid in Christmas Carol. It was super, super sad. And then I didn't get Annie either. Like, I didn't get any of the cool parts.
You got an orphan, at least?
I played one of the orphans. Actually, it was a pretty cool orphan. I had a really good line, and it was a good line. Whatever, but still.
And did you fake the singing, or did you sing?
No, they let me sing. They didn't have any other good options. I was like the best they had, I guess.
Proud moments.
So sad.
And did you find social relevance in your theater world?
I don't think I made any friends, actually. Not from theater, because they're mostly older in theater at that time. But they were just trying to get me out from soap operas.
Huh. And why did you come to L.A.?
To be an actor.
But I mean, was there like a moment where you said, okay, now I'm coming to this, we're going to go to the city that really matters, or?
I was a bit lost, a little bit like, okay, we're going to LA, I'll have a life there. I think I was just looking for friends mostly. But then we moved to the Oakwood apartments, and there were tons of friends there, lots of people to hang out with, and I completely forgot that I was there to do the acting. And I eventually started like really focusing on the auditions, but for a while it was like pool parties and, like not school.
And did you get good at some point during that process?
Good at acting?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I really don't think. I mean, I've seen some of my work as a child actor, and I would not consider it work by any means. It's like the chick has no idea what's happening. But if people kept casting me, I think at a certain point it just becomes experience. And they're like, well, she's done this so much that she's got to know what she's doing more so than this girl who has not done anything. And then I started working more, which then makes you better, and now I'm decent.
And now, and of course, the age thing, was that always, did you always play young when you were a young teen?
I think so, because I've always looked really young.
Because they're always looking for somebody who can work the whole day.
Exactly, yes. Well, you know what? Because I was homeschooled, we sort of worked some deal because it was like I wasn't really in school, so then they could hire me for these other parts. I don't know. I'm not very educated, obviously. I just went on about how I'm an actor and didn't go to school. So, yeah, clearly the focus was not where it should be. Parents.
And is there a moment where you said, okay, now I feel comfortable that I know what I'm doing when I...
Yeah, it was when my grandmother moved back to South Carolina, because my grandmother moved out here with me to LA. And then it was like as soon as she moved back and I realized that I was going to have to start paying my rent, that I realized, okay, got to get it together. I know what I'm doing, or I got to fake it at least.
And did it feel, were you happy? Was it like a kind of like, this is it, I've found the thing I want to do with my life? Or were you just kind of...
I never looked at it like that, I don't think. Yeah, it was very, I mean, I have a weird survival mentality. I think because I come from such a small town where acting was not really available to me other than, you know, like community theater. When I moved out here, it was a very big realization that, like, if I didn't work, there was no way I was going to be able to stay out here. And so it became less about, like, ooh, I want to be an actor, and more about, like, the job. You know, I have to make a living doing the acting because that's the only thing that I could do. It's the only thing that I know, and I don't know any other things. There's no other way for me to make money. So I think it was very much a survival kind of mindset.
So has it been an odd thing to kind of go from being trying to work to being somewhat of a commodity and being somebody they go, oh, we need to get Britt because we put her name above the title?
Yeah. No, I actually really, it's one of the things that I like about myself, and that I can say openly and honestly that I look at this job like it's a job. I don't consider myself an artist. I guess when people say I'm an artist, I'm like, okay, yeah, I guess. But like, at a certain point, I do consider it a job. Like, we have to get the job done. I have to set these moments. I have to hit these moments in order to get the story. And then once the story is compiled, then our job is done, you know? And I think that that's, it helps me not get so lost in my head and think about, like, the big picture, because the big picture can be a little daunting. So I like to see it as a job.
So you try not to be a careerist. You try not to think about that big picture?
I mean, it's worked out that, like, for me, it's worked out that I've been able to make a career out of, you know, having this job. But it's more about, you know, okay, can I see myself doing this role and be, like, a happy person and, like, fulfill myself as an actor, but also get the job done? Like, can I do this job? And I think it's, I don't know, I wouldn't say more smart, but, because, I don't know. That's the way I work.
Are you very competitive?
I used to be, funny enough. I used to be very competitive. And then I sort of lost that a little bit, which is good. I found my softer side. And I think it comes from having a lot of women who are in the same field as I. Like, I have a lot of actor friends. And I don't find that competition there anymore. When I was in acting class, though, man, was I competitive.
Did you want to win in an acting class?
All the things. You want to win all the things. The acting class that I went to, that I still go to, because I love him so much, Andrew McGarrian is his name. But it's a very competitive class. They start out with like 2 hours worth of games where you're literally trying to beat people out of these games. And then the exercises that I loved most in the acting class were the exercises where you compete against another actor and you can only say, like, you know, the same dialogue and they have to repeat you, and then the audience, like, the, you know, your peers get to vote on which one is better. And so I would, like, do anything and everything to try to be better than that person in the moment. So yes, I used to be a little competitive.
So can you cry on cue? Is that the skill set you have?
It's more than just crying on cue. It's like my specialty, what I was known for at the shop, which is what it's called, was having, like, nervous breakdowns, but, like, through laughter So, because that's hitting all the beats, right? Because you want to be able to, like, make someone laugh, make someone cry, make someone hurt, and make someone, like, you know, all the feelings, right? And so I used to, in order to beat someone in those challenges, I would just do it all. I was like, I'm gonna cry while laughing, while, like, ripping my clothes off and, like, down on my knees, throwing things. I would just do anything and everything, and usually people would give up. So
You just push them right out of the room.
totally, you just have a nervous breakdown to the point where you scare the other person, and they're like, okay, she wins.
So how do you approach a big role like this in Mr. Church or something like Longest?
Just have a nervous breakdown every day. No,
Every
no,
day.
no, no, no. It's different.
Well,
It's
you have
very
to pace
different.
yourself, I assume.
Yeah. With something like this, you know, it's all about being in the moment and, like, creating these sort of little beats of connection with everyone. You know, my character Charlie has all these different little relationships throughout the film, and it's about, like, really trying to make those relationships matter so that your audience sort of feels for this character and wants to take this journey along with her. And so for the character of Mr. Church, you know, I was always just, for me personally, as Britt, I was always trying to, like, get to know Eddie a little bit more and, like, trying to get some sort of insight as to how he works or his, you know, just the way he sees things, because you can tell he's got this very, like, mysterious air about him, and I just want to know the way he views the world, because I think he's a smart dude. And that was a big part of my discovery on the film, really, was as I was getting to know Eddie, Charlotte was getting to know Mr. Church. And
a similar kind of relationship, it sounds like.
Exactly. Yeah. You know, two people who were trying to make something great out of, you know, they're trying to really help one another during rough times and be a great support system for one another. And but at the same time, having guards and not necessarily wanting to let strangers in on all of your past and baggage or whatever it may be. So that was really nice, because Eddie always had this great way of letting me in but not letting me in, you know? And he was so fun to work with in that way. But mostly it was Susan. It was Susan McMartin. It's her story that she wrote, and she's had this sort of true life friendship that she experienced, and it was great to hear why it meant so much to her. It meant so much to her that now, even, you know, 20 years later, she needs to make this movie about it, because this man inspired her so much. And I think that's a hugely beautiful sentiment that we should all sort of carry in our own life, that it's okay to affect people and to challenge people and to, you know, and to love people even if they're not biologically connected to you.